Let's head over to the New Orleans Bowl. Sam Houston, Georgia Southern. Another really good matchup and an intriguing matchup as well. Only because, and I think that now we did see Sam Houston do well, okay, without. I think not having Casey Keeler and some of these players in the transfer portal, I don't know how many. Some of these guys are. There's a lot of starters here on this list that are on the transfer portal for Sam Houston. But when I watch Georgia Southern, are you that impressed with them? Like, no, they found ways to win football games. J.C. French did enough in some games, and he also lost them some football games. And I do think Clay Helton isn't a terrible coach. I know people like to look at his USC tenure and be like, that was garbage. I think Clay Helton's a fine coach. I think he is doing well at Georgia Southern. I, I'm on Georgia Southern here because I'm looking at who's in and who's out for the Sam Houston team, but I can't help but think about all of the mistakes that I've seen Georgia Southern do this football season. And I can't help but think, yeah, Georgia Southern can find a way to lose this football game. Not to mention, okay, how much is this Georgia Southern team going to care about this game? Because guess what? Last year, they had a pretty damn good football team, and they're out partying at 3 a.m. the night before the football game after I bet on them against Ohio, and then they lose by 40. All right. Yeah, it stings a little bit. All right. This is not going to go on my best bets because maybe I'm a little bit, maybe it's some PTSD. All right. But maybe it's a different culture. There's different players. All right. Maybe it's wrong for me to assume certain things about their culture. It probably is wrong. But when it comes to preparing for bowl games, right, is, I don't know.
It's something to think about too. And you're going to be in New Orleans, right?
Yeah.
So
Yes.
it's not like you're going to Albuquerque, you're going to Idaho. Like it's a lot different, I think. When you do see that it happen, obviously, how do you predict it? How do you know about it? Who knows? And maybe you do learn from it. If you are Clay Helton and you actually, maybe you get there a couple days earlier, or maybe you plan to stay a couple days after, whatever it may be. It's it's just very bizarre. I totally remember that game last year. It was crazy. But listen, from the reports I've heard is that I expect these players to play. I do expect them to come in and just make one last ride for everybody. I think Hunter Watson will make some plays. I think they're going to get a win here. I know it's six is a lot
Okay.
to make up. I'll just take as obviously I'll take the 6 points, but I'll listen. I'll take Sam Houston State, excuse me, the Bearcats to win as well. Yeah, it's going to be tough. I think after next year, it'll be a bit of a ride, in terms of replacing Ducker and Evans and a lot of these guys. But for right now and what the two's going to be playing and suiting up in New Orleans, be very interesting. Plus, the drive from Houston, New Orleans is not very bad as well. Or I guess Sam Houston's up, not
Yeah.
kind of
This is bowl
suburbs.
season. This is bowl
Yeah,
season. There have to be underdogs that win, right?
exactly. And
There has to be. And right now, like I'm looking at my slate right now, and there's a lot of favorites on my slate. All right.
exactly. This is kind of what I found here. Plus conferences too. Like you see teams like it's hard to just compare conferences. We already took and talked about James Madison and Western Kentucky. That's a CUSA and Sun Belt matchup, just like this one is here. I do think JMU much better football team than Georgia Southern and Sam Houston, obviously. Obviously Western Kentucky one of the better teams in the CUSA. There's definitely a gap there, but Sam Houston I think is a damn good team as well. Right, they were right there to win, to be able to have a chance to win the CUSA, and they couldn't get it done because Jack State ended up not winning and their quarterback got hurt. But yeah, listen, I like Sam Houston State here. I think their defense also is going to show up and make plays and maybe turn the ball over. JC French throwing interceptions, putting the ball in harm's way, get some short fields here and there. Yeah, it could be a big deal, especially in a spot where, maybe, yeah, just yeah, big things happen. Like you see a lot of trick plays, you see a lot of turnovers in these bowl seasons. So I think the spot here where the Bearcats get
Yeah.
a win here.
Although, if you want to look at the strength of schedule and play that card, okay, there is a gigantic difference between Georgia Southern's and Jacksonville, or sorry, well, and Jacksonville State's schedule, but Sam Houston's schedule. I mean, even the out of conference. I mean, you look at the out of conference for Sam Houston, and it's Rice, UCF, and Hawaii.
How many teams are going bowling?
Yeah, and I guess
None of
Texas
them.
State as well, who they did win. That's a good win, and that's a Sun Belt team.
Oh, I guess
But at
yeah.
that
I guess
time,
Texas State's.
yeah, and it was in Huntsville, right? So I don't know that if you're going strictly based on that performance, it required Hunter Watson running for 100 yards, and 2 touchdowns, and a late second half surge after Texas State was up 39-21 at halftime, and then Sam Houston ended up winning 40-39 on a last second field goal. So uh, it required a lot of things for Sam Houston to win that football game. I think Texas State's better than Georgia Southern, but I'm riding with Georgia Southern here. Don't feel good about it. I don't feel good about a lot of these games, all right, but there are four in particular that I like a lot for the best bets. But it's not too late to make a free $50. That's right. You got to do two things. One, you got to subscribe to the Redshirt Sophomore podcast. That's all you got to do. And then the second step to that is you're going to go into the link in the description and join the college football bowl pool pick'em that we're putting on. Yep, that's right. Introducing the Redshirt Sophomore college football bowl pool pick'em. You're going to go in that link. You're going to find all the bowl games, and you're going to pick those bowl games, and you're going to sign confidence points. How confident are you that that team is going to win that bowl game? And there's a lot of points to sign, and it's never too late to join. That's the thing. You would think, oh man, the first bowl game already passed, South Alabama, Western Michigan. It's not too late. Okay, you only would lose 1 point. Okay, and generally, out of the 400 some points that you can earn, uh, you're not even going to come close to making all those points. So it really, 1 point is not the biggest difference in the world. So make sure though that you are subscribed to the Redshirt Sophomore to qualify for this prize. And good luck to you all.